One of the moment of truth is going to happen today, and that is seeing if our electrical system works. That is the big ticket item for today, and we're going to achieve this. We're going to make it happen. So, like you guys saw in the last video, we have a brand new harness in there, brand new bulkhead harness, brand new every harness that we could imagine, except for the instrument harness, but I didn't take anything out of that one. I don't remember taking anything out of that one. It looks all OEM. So, there's a couple things I need to knock out first before we can get to testing. I need to get the rear diff temperature sensor plugged in, the rear headlight auto leveling sensor plugged in. I want to run through, double check all connectors, grounds, make sure everything is like solid. I need to go back there and find a couple of the SRS impact sensors because I think I'm missing one of them, which is weird because I know I had it on the last iteration when we did all of these, so I just need to find it back there. So we're gonna do all that stuff. We're gonna do all that stuff. Kyle's also coming up next week to wrap up the last of the fabrication stuff on this. We are redoing the intake manifold. As you guys know, there's a couple other small changes happening. We need to make some adjustments to the radiator, just some more fabrication stuff, so you guys get to see some more fabrication videos. But before we jump into this, quick update on the Evo also. I got all the new wheel bearings ordered, front and rear. Is very expensive. One of the seat brackets, the passenger one because the driver one's out of stock, and then some of the stuff so that way we can rebuild the valve cover. Like some STM really cool dash 6AN fittings and whatnot. So some more Evo videos are going to be coming as soon as I get those parts in. But let's jump onto this. Let's get those. I think I'm going to start with the rear diff temperature sensor and the auto leveling headlight sensor first because those ones are going to suck. We've got one of them right there. Where's the harness go though? Harness, where are you? Reveal yourself. Okay. Come on, you dirty pooer. Come off. Like, where is your... Oh, you would be right there. But I got it. You just gotta yank on it. You gotta yeet it out. Tape off of here. Oh no, I'm good. We're just gonna aim. Is that like straight down? Go in your home right there. So I haven't found the other impact sensor, so I'm gonna come back to it before we go to start everything up. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of this stuff plugged in right here. We're also going to kidnap Matt's grounding kit from iWire. iWire is sending us one for our battery relocation. It was supposed to come with one, but it didn't. So no worries, Matt has one we can kidnap, and then I'll give Matt the one from iWire when it comes up. That really hurt. I just cut my wrist. So let's get all of this plugged in to satisfy the needs of the ECU and CAN bus system. We'll get the radio plugged in, we'll get the steering wheel put back on, the instrument cluster, hazard button, MFD, and I think at that point we can go ahead and get that grounding kit on over there. And oh! Impact sensor. And then we can go ahead and turn this thing on and see if all of our hard work paid off. So let's just get everything plugged in. We'll do the grounding kit and go from there. Not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp, make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic. I'm a little nervous at this point. I'm gonna hold off on doing the grounding kit because it really shouldn't make a difference because the battery is grounded to the motor and it's grounded to the chassis. So we should be fine on that one. So my heart's actually racing because if this doesn't fix the problem, I genuinely don't know what else to do. So SRS module's plugged in, everything's good to go. Let me go flip the circuit breaker. I'm actually gonna put the battery on a tender. We'll flip the circuit breaker. Actually, we'll just flip the circuit breaker to start with and give the car power. Hopefully it doesn't automatically turn on. Hopefully it won't turn on until I walk up here with this key and push that button. Dear God, dude, I'm nervous. I'm way more nervous than I should be. You son of a... ABS, check owner's manual. Vehicle dynamic control, check owner's manual. C-diff disabled, check owner's manual. Hill assist disabled, check owner's manual. SRS airbag, check owner's manual. Every door is open. Every door actually is open. What happens if I go to like push this button? Fuck me, dude. Why? Why are we doing this? What am I missing? What the f am I missing? Let me check fuses. I'm gonna go throughout the car and check fuses. Let me do that. I have literally never felt this defeated when doing a project or working on a car. I have run out of ideas. I don't know anymore. I literally don't know. I've replaced all the harnesses. Everything is back to OEM. I've checked every fuse. I've checked every relay. Every ground is there. The only thing that could possibly be, it doesn't even make sense why, that doesn't even make sense either, why I would be doing that. I have Subaru SSM4 downloading now off the top of my head. I forgot what it stands for. It's like Subaru self-service module 4. I don't remember what it's called. I'll put a little thing right there. It could be something in the ECU that's like, hey, just wake up and send power to the car. But that doesn't make sense to me. That logically doesn't make sense to me why it would be something in the ECU that's regulating the battery to just send power to the car. I literally have no more ideas. I've replaced the harnesses. Every fuse is good. I checked every single relay. Every single relay is good. I added the grounding kit. We have proper ground, proper power. I am out of ideas. So I'm gonna continue to go look at some of these technical diagrams and see what I can come up with. I have SSM4 downloading now, so I just need a USB to OBD2 cable, which I just bought on Amazon. Should be here in a couple days. Yeah, I don't know anymore. So we're a couple days in the future from when I shot that last clip. I do have an update for you guys. There's two possible things that I think it could be at this point. I was talking with someone and it seems that the ECU gets grounds through the main engine harness. So there may be a ground or two in there that I need to pull out from the main bulkhead connector guy, ground out 2 of those wires, and that could help with the problem. The other one I think is a fuse box relay issue, because I completely removed one of the fuse box panels, and that could be a problem. After looking at the wiring diagrams more, it seems that there are some sub relays in there that may connect up for the ignition system for like initial power up. And there's a ground on there that I removed, which also could be one of the problems. So in this relay box here, there's a sub relay panel here that I completely removed. I think I threw it away because I can't find it anywhere. That goes in with all of these power wires that go to the alternator, the starter, all of that kind of stuff. So when that comes in, we are going to strip out a couple of those things, such as the starter wire, and I believe that is it. But one of them, there's a ground that normally goes right up here behind the fuse box relay. I'm missing that ground. I don't have it. I don't know where it is. So we're just gonna put that relay box back in. It's for the secondary air pump, so those connectors, I'm just gonna leave them on there for the time being. I'll tuck them out of the way for now and we'll just forget about them. So that, I ordered that 2 or 3 days ago. It's coming from Oregon, but for some reason it's not showing up until Monday, so I can't get that back in yet. But there are some things that I do want to keep going on this, just so that way this project is making progress and it's not just sitting. So for the most part, I can put the interior back in the car, such as like the carpet and whatnot, just so that way I have a lot less crap sitting up on that rack back there. Because all of this wiring at this point is stock and OEM, and if there's any wires that I need to run from the front of the car to the back of the car, I can just open the door, peel the carpet back a little bit right there, and be able to run them down through. So first things first, we're gonna get the carpet put back in there. I need to run over to the shop here soon to drop off some Evo stuff. So in here, I've got one of the seat brackets. I've got the battery relocation kit for the Evo. I've got the JDM license plate bracket. I got some more parts ordered for it, which should be here soon. My goal with the Evo is to get it running by like the end of January, early February. It has a long way to go. I don't think I'm gonna meet that goal, but I'm gonna try my damnedest. It's expensive. Like all the channel budget right now, I'm just pouring into the Evo, so that way I can get that car back up and running, because it would be nice to have 2 running cars instead of 1. So the Evo is one of the priorities right now to get that one running, because that one's just bolt on, drop the engine in, get all the accessories put on there, turn the key, start it kind of thing, and tune it. But that one's coming. Like I said, all the wheel hubs, front and rear, coming. I got the ball joint kit. Once all of that's in, we can get like all of the brakes put back on the car after we powder coat them. So that way it's like an actual rolling chassis at this point. But let's start things off by getting this carpet put back in the Subaru. And then we're gonna start messing with some of the Haltech wiring to get that wired in, because that is something that we can start on while we wait for this fuse panel relay to come in. So I've got some of the interior stuff put back in, just the stuff that I know I'm not going to be touching, because remember, everything from the bulkhead back harness-wise is all stock, it's all OEM, it's all connected properly. I don't have to mess with any of that. Even though we're still having a little bit of electrical problems, everything from that point back is totally fine. I can still have access to everything up here behind the dash bar if I do need to pull that back out. So the carpet can get off the shelf, it can stay in here permanently at this point. I went ahead, I got the B-pillar trim pieces put back in. At this point, I want to get power to the Haltech, so we're gonna run some wires here for the Haltech. So these power wires I actually need to put back up in the engine bay, terminate them, sheath them, and get them to our power stud up there. The ground is gonna be grounded out directly to the battery. This is a fuel pump power controller wire dealio, guys, so that needs to be ran back there as well. So we may need to extend that back a little bit, at least down to the fuel pump area. So let's just run some of these wires, then we're gonna get some more electronics plugged back in, we're gonna get the Haltech plugged in, we're gonna get the IC7 digital dash display plugged in. If we can get power to that Haltech, we're gonna go ahead and put the switched 12 volt ignition onto, I'm actually just gonna run it right here to the cigarette lighter. It's a switched 12 volt. It doesn't need to be up into the actual ignition. As long as it's switched 12 volt, that'll be fine, because that's just what provides power to the, it's what tells the Haltech to turn on. So even though it'll have power and ground, it just needs a signal to be able to turn on, and that's essentially the signal for it. So let's run some stuff. What do you think? You think this thing's ever gonna run? I don't think he thinks it's gonna run. Is it ever gonna run? Will it? Hey, talking to you, don't ignore me. Don't ignore me, tiny boy. Let's run some wires. What do you think? Boop. All right, so I've got I've got the basic wires for the Haltech to power up RANs. So off of this, we have to have one signal wire, which we have. Just have it temporarily tapped in right there just to be able to power this up. I've got all three of the power wires going to the ground stud up there, and then I've got the ground permanently ran. So it's actually this sheathed wire right here, runs underneath the carpet behind that panel there, up under the carpet to the back seat. Now this orange wire is actually for the fuel pump positive, so I needed to leave that out. So that is actually internal in this sheathing, and what I ended up doing was just making like a Y branching off of that to be able to let that wire come out, put some heat shrink over it so that way it is protected. And then the rest of it runs into the trunk, back there, goes up, down, and then it goes to our ground right there. So in theory, I'm gonna plug the radio back in just to try to satisfy the CAN system a little bit with the car. I think the radio is the only thing I unplugged. So let's get the radio plugged back in. Let's turn this thing on and see if our Haltech's power light comes on. If it does, we're gonna plug in our IC7 dash display just to be able to make sure that is working as well. This is just like testing the ECU to make sure that it is functional. Like I haven't even been able to power it up yet, so hopefully this will power it up. Wake up. Fast forward 2 seconds and I got the radio plugged back in. So let's flip on power and see what happens. It's gonna do its turn on thing. Yep, there it goes. Do we have power to the Haltech? Oh, daddy-o. Let me grab the digital dash. Yo, we got power to the Haltech. And it's not like it's hard to get power to something, but I haven't powered up the Haltech or even sent power to it up until this point. So seeing that it's got power it's incredible. Even though the first half of this video has been extremely demotivating, the second half is like very motivating. So I have the digital dash plugged in right now. We're gonna see if that powers up, but let me show you that real quick. We'll flip everything on and see what happens. So on our Haltech here, we have one CAN communication cable right there. That goes off to that big extension cord and then goes up there to our dash. So instead of us using that stock STI cluster right there, we're gonna be replacing it with this, and they do make replacement like gauge clusters. So I can just tuck that thing away, tuck it out of the way, shove it behind the dash or something like that. I don't know where I'm gonna put it quite yet, but that's going to be what we read everything on: RPM, speed, oil pressure, oil temp, boost, all of that stuff. So let me take that sticker off there real quick. Let's power this thing up and see what that dash looks like. All right, so come back here, flip that breaker, Is anything happening? Oh my God! Holy fuck! Holy sh! Okay, holy f, it's doing something. It did something. Okay. Oh my God, we have a fucking dash. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, look how fucking sick that is, you guys. So right now it's set up, we have manifold pressure, coolant temp, air temp, injector duty cycle, speed, battery voltage, throttle position, ignition angle, the actual tachometer. This thing's fucking cool. Oh, geez. Okay. Woo! And then these are like, it's not touchscreen because they don't want fingerprints all over it, but dude, that looks so freaking cool. Can I push buttons on here? There's like, oh, what does this do? Oh, this changes everything. Whoa, okay. Oh my God, dude, this is fucking cool. This is fucking wild. Whoa, okay, it can look like an old school dash. We don't like that, we don't like that. Wow, okay. Oh my God, holy fuck. I've never had a standalone before, so this is really cool to me. There's so many different things. Oh my God. You can check so much. And then we're back to here. Holy fuck! Okay, so super happy the Haltech powers up and the dash works. Next up, I'm going to test fit this Racequip seat in the car. I haven't test fit these ones in, I only test fit the Sparkos. So if I need to make adjustments to the seat, now is the time to do it, just because I'd like to get this permanently bolted in at this point. Like I said, now that the carpet's back in and we've replaced all the wiring from the bulkhead back, there's no need for me to be able to, like, I don't have to pull up the carpet for anything else. If I need to like run wires to the back, like I said, I can lift up the carpet, get it back there. So let's get the passenger seat in. I'm just gonna temporarily pull it in. I know I'm gonna take it back out at some point, but I just wanna make sure everything, like, it looks good, it fits well, everything like that. So I've never used Racequip seats before. This is my first time using them, and totally unbiased, like, yes, Racequip sent me the seats, but these seats are actually, they're nice. Like with a lot of bucket seats, when you go to get in and out of the seat, the bolstering on the side like stabs you in the butt crack as you get in and out. This one, it's got good bolstering where you're not like getting thrown around. The shoulder bolstering feels good. It's comfortable. I can see clearly. They sit a little bit higher too than those Sparkos did in this car. So pretty happy with this seat, to be honest. I think I might try to fit the slider on the other rail so that way I can get it in the car just temporarily, at least. Like I said, it's definitely going to, the seats are going to come in and out a couple times, but even though we ran into a setback, still great progress. Haltech has power, we have a seat in, the dash works, we've tested that, we have the ground and the fuel pump wire permanently ran. I really do think that new harness, hopefully it's not even a new harness, it's a missing harness that I took out that I never put back in. So honestly, at that point, if that harness doesn't fix it, I think I'm going to have to go the route of getting that SSM4 from Subaru. I've checked every relay, I've checked every fuse, everything into here, everything's plugged in, with the exception of like that one harness up there and maybe like 1 or 2 grounds. I think it's that ground that's missing off that main harness that draws power from the terminal. So we'll see. I also had a weird issue with this like dome light here, that it would always stay on for some reason. I don't know why. It would always stay on. I don't know why. So let me actually mess with that other seat real quick and see if I can get those sliders to fit. If I can get those sliders to fit, we're just gonna send it. We'll send it and put the sliders on there and get that seat temporarily in here too. Well, that sucks. I bought these. These are Corbeau seat sliders. I don't recommend these to anyone. They are so narrow, even when pushed all the way out. It's so narrow, and yeah, I could cut this and weld it to make it a little bit longer. But the problem that I've now run into is the entire other seat rail slider just completely demolished on me. These are brand new. I've never used them before. And the internal mechanism on it, just pieces of it just started falling out. It's not supposed to do that, so whatever, I'll get another set of seat sliders ordered, so I can't get that seat in quite yet. Kind of sucks, but no, it's whatever. It's been sitting for 2 weeks anyway, so it can sit for another week or so until I get this other seat sliders in. So I'm gonna go grab some food real quick. I haven't eaten all day. It's like 7 p.m. right now. Let me clean up the shop a little bit, do the live stream, then we're gonna go swing over to the shop, go drop off some Evo stuff, and I think finish it out there. Yeah, we'll finish it out at the shop today with the Evo. Okay, so we're a couple hours in the future. I totally spaced on bringing the camera with me when I went over to the shop, but I got that stuff dropped off over there. I still need to get this 4G63 block dropped off at a machine shop to get to get machined out for us, so that way we can build that engine and get it set aside for the Evo. I think I'm gonna hold off on that until I get more parts set aside for it, so that way when the time comes we can just do all the Evo stuff all at once, like build the engine, get the head built, get it put back on there, get an exhaust manifold, the transmission, all that stuff bolted back up to it, so that way when it does come time to do the Evo series, it's not like we're just jumping around with the Evo a whole bunch. It's like, all right, when it comes time to do the engine build, we're doing the engine build kind of thing, you know what I mean? We're gonna knock out all the suspension stuff. While I was at the shop, I was looking at the Evo to make sure that we pretty much had all the suspension stuff knocked out. There's only 2 more things I need to order so far that I can see for the suspension. That is a set of coilovers, and that is 2 brand new OEM Mitsubishi wheel speed sensors. Aside from that, I think the suspension is good. The drivetrain is pretty much good. I need to order a new input shaft for the transfer case because one side uses a different input shaft than the other side. I'm missing that input shaft, so I'll get that ordered. I'm gonna have to find one and get that ordered. I don't know how easy it's going to be to find one, but it's whatever. Pretty happy with the progress on the STI. It still sucks that we haven't figured out this electrical issue on the OEM side of things. It's really cool to see that we have power to the Haltech now, so that way we can actually start wiring in the Haltech. The main reason I wanted to get power supplied to that thing is that's how I'm going to be checking sensors to make sure we're getting readings on them. So like for example, you guys saw air temperature was negative 273 degrees Celsius. When I take that harness and I go up to the engine bay and I apply those 2 correct wires to the intake air temperature sensor, that should reflect back on the dash, so that way I can see that it is getting an input signal. So this is a really good way for me to be able to like verify all sensors as we're going through things. But that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you guys are excited for the STI, if you're excited for the Evo, if you're excited for anything we got going on, Golf stuff, the new BRZ coming, anything like that, go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be one of these corners, no idea which one I'll put it in quite yet, but it's like 1 a.m. right now, so I gotta do like a little baby woo, so woo! I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.